We are on our last lesson, and the story is Now and Ben. Now and Ben. So let's go ahead and start with our vocabulary words. So we have inventions, remarkable, designed, amounts, accomplishments, achieve, composed, and result. So number 1, inventions. Wheels are one of the inventions that we use in many different ways. 2, remarkable. The telephone is a remarkable invention that lets you talk to people. Number 3, designed. These boys designed and built a truck from blocks that snap together. Number 4, amounts. These light bulbs give off different amounts of light. Number 5, accomplishments. One of Ben Franklin's many accomplishments was bifocal glasses to see near and far. Oh, I'm glad for that. Number 6, achieve. Wanting to succeed helped Ben achieve or reach his goals. This is a statue of Ben. Number 7, composed. Beethoven is famous for the beautiful music he composed or wrote. And number 8, the word is result. When a musician plays the harmonica, beautiful music is the result. So today you get to write a sentence using these words and also look up the definitions. Okay, now we're going to go to the story. And like I said, the story is Now and Ben, and it's written by Jean Barretta. Benjamin Franklin is one of Jean Barretta's heroes. Like his hero, Mr. Barretta is a writer and makes his home in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He even named his son Benjamin. Sometimes when Mr. Barretta visits schools to talk about his book, Now and Ben, an actor dressed as Benjamin Franklin goes with him. Oh, I'm excited to learn about Benjamin Franklin. The essential question we're going to be asking ourselves is, why might a person from a long ago still be important today? Think about that for just a minute. Why might a person from long ago still be important today? So as we read this story, think of all of the inventions that Ben Franklin came up with that affects you now. How might it affect you now? Okay, now and then we think about Ben, Dr. Benjamin Franklin, to be precise, and we think about his many inventions. Inventions he originated more than 200 years ago. It was if Ben could see into the future. Almost everything he created is still around today. Look at all those inventions that we have. Now, we gotta turn the page. Now, our newspapers are filled with illustrations. Ben was the first to print a political cartoon in America. The cartoon encouraged the American colonies to join together or die, like the disconnected snake. So Ben Franklin added political cartoons. He started adding cartoons. That was an invention. Do you like cartoons? Now, our world relies on electricity. In the 18th century, many people believed that lightning was an act of anger and punishment from God. Ben was one of the scientists who discovered the true nature of electricity and how to use it. He learned that lightning is electricity when he attached a small metal wire to the top of a kite and gathered electricity from a storm cloud. That's something you should never try. So, how are people's ideas about electricity different now than in Ben Franklin's time? Now, people understand electricity and know how to use it, and thank goodness we have electricity. Now, many buildings and homes use lightning rods to protect against lightning strikes. Ben invented the lightning rod and was the first to use it. The pointed iron rod acts like a magnet and grabs an approaching lightning bolt from the sky before it can strike the rooftop. The electricity then travels safely down a long wire into the ground. It prevents fires and keeps dangerous amounts of electricity away from the house. Now, this gadget goes by many names, such as the grabber. Everyone has seen one. It's the long stick that helps grab items from out of reach places. Ben invented the original device and called it the long arm because it worked like a very long arm. Interesting. Now, swimmers and divers use flippers to move faster through the water. And then we got to go to the next page. Ben invented things even when he was a boy. He was an avid swimmer and built wooden flippers for both his hands and feet. Interesting. Now, ships travel across the Gulf Stream to take advantage of the faster current. Ben measured, charted, and publicized the Gulf Stream during his 8 voyages across the Atlantic Ocean. Man, he was a busy guy. Now we understand and accept the benefits of vitamin C. Ben was an earlier promoter of eating citrus fruits to help prevent a disease called scurvy. So, what were Ben's flippers made out of? Wood. I've never seen wooden flippers, but it looks like they probably worked. Now, for a musical interlude. Ben invented the glass harmonica. He was able to create music by simply touching his wet fingers to a row of spinning glass bowls. Mozart and Beethoven were so moved by the sounds that they composed for the instrument. Today, glass harmonicas are very rare. You are more likely to find one in a museum than in a music store. Let's go back and look at that picture. He was so busy, always coming up with new ideas, wasn't he? What was the harmonica? It was just a row of spinning glass bowls. Kind of looks like a sewing machine. Now, chairs come in all shapes and sizes. Ben designed 2 chairs that are still very useful. The writing chair combined a desk and chair into one. The library chair was a combination chair and a stepladder. Now, everyone has a rocking chair, but not many have seen Dr. Franklin's rocking chair. Ben invented one rocking chair with a fan on top and one that turned butter instead of having to do it by hand. That's pretty clever. Now, every year we observe daylight saving time, which means we set our clocks ahead 1 hour in the springtime. As a result, it stays darker longer in the morning when most people are sleeping and stays light longer at the end of the day so we can save more energy. In the fall, we return the clocks to standard time. Ben suggested this idea in one of his essays as a way to save money by burning fewer candles. Farmers could also gain more work time in the evening. Daylight saving time was not officially practiced until World War I, more than 100 years later. As for clocks, Ben designed the first clock with his second hand. So let's go back to this page. He's invented some really cool things. I'm still really impressed about him churning butter with a chair. That is really cool. And these combine two things like a desk and a chair in one, and a step stool and a chair. I still see these often. Like, you can still buy things like this. They don't look exactly like that, but man, he's come up with some really cool things. Okay. Now, every automobile has an odometer to measure the distance it travels. Ben invented the odometer when he was Postmaster General, so he could measure his postal routes. Now, almost every large community includes a library, a hospital, a post office, a fire department, and a sanitation department. Ben lived in a city that had none of these establishments, so he helped organize the first of each. What does the word sanitation mean? If you look up here, that's kind of a word that you don't know, but if you look up here, it shows a picture of a garbage truck with the word on it, sanitation, keeping clean. Now and then we owe thanks to Ben for his important inventions, but many would agree that his greatest accomplishments came in the form of documents that helped shape the world. Ben had a pivotal role in developing America's Constitution, the Treaty of Alliance with France, the Treaty of Peace with England, and the Declaration of Independence. It's remarkable that one man could achieve so much in a lifetime. He has certainly helped to form the wonderful modern world. Will his contributions help to form the future? I hope you enjoyed that story. Every year that I read this, I can't believe all of the many things that Benjamin Franklin helped. So next time you go turn the light on in your house, you think of him. Anytime you see any of those things that he helped to discover, think of him and be thankful for all that he did. He was a busy, busy man. Now, you go get busy.